Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the stream. I know people will probably still be watching the Sky coverage, but I wanted to get out there nice and early because Sunderland have won an away game in the Premier League, and what a bloody win it was. Absolutely horrific watching, though. The viewing experience was absolutely horrendous. From my perspective, I was just sat there at the edge of my couch. Glad I wasn't there, to be fair, because it would have been even worse being in the stadium, but just sat there on the edge of my seat, sort of, just wondering, could we see this over the line? And eventually we did. But God, it's painful watching, isn't it, when you're getting absolutely just like battered. Like they're just throwing things, there's crosses going in, there's people winning headers, losing headers. Oh, but we defended absolutely magnificently. If anyone's got comments, please put comments in. Let's talk about the game. I haven't written a massive plan or a plan at all for this one because I just wanted to get on. I was so buzzing after the game. I even like stupidly ordered myself some food to come like at half time, and I couldn't eat it because I was just that stressed. I was like a puppy whose like parents had left, and I was just had the anxiety. God, it was just horrific, but we pull it through the end. Also, everyone just like the stream and subscribe, all that good stuff, and put comments in, questions. I want to talk about this game probably for weeks and weeks and weeks. But Sunderland win. That is the most important thing, and it was not pretty. But what I'd say is without looking at the stats and obviously without watching the highlights back, I felt like in the first half we did a very, very good job against Nottingham Forest. You'd probably describe it as the perfect away performance. We had a few half chances. We always look dangerous from set pieces, and we talk about that a lot on the channel, just how important it is to be good from set pieces, and we showed that today. We were very, very dangerous every time we sort of had a chance to put the ball in the box. And I thought we looked dangerous in the first half. We then, the goal, I'm very curious what people think about the free kick that was given against Dominguez. I think it was given for a dive, but there was a bit of confusion. Maybe it was the yellow card was given for dissent. I'm not obviously 100% sure. I don't know. But it looks like it was given for a dive anyway. And I don't think Hume touches him, personally. I think Trey Hume pulls out of the challenge, and their lad goes down because he thinks he's just going to win an easy free kick. Normally in the middle of the park, you probably just see the referee just not give it, but he decides to give it anyway. He obviously felt that it was a strong enough decision to make, so he gives that free kick. I'll move my thing a little bit more. There we go. We get the free kick though, and you've got to take your chance, don't you? And Xhaka puts in a wonderful ball. Alderete is just waiting. He gets round the back, heads it. Matt Sells in the Forest net. Maybe you could do a little bit better, but it was very close range. Heads it, sort of saves it, but it ends up falling in over the line. VAR check on the offside, and when you see the replay back, I think you can see there's a Forest foot that's just playing Alderete on. So there's the little bit to look. You think about that, the Brentford game where Atara, I think, got in, and it was like he was offside by like a hair. Today we've got the look of the green as well there. So the rub of the green, not the look of the green. So yeah, we've got a comment here from Etienne. Yep, no contact. So the salmon jump was indeed a simulation. Yeah, but I do think that if you're a Forest fan, you're probably pretty annoyed that gets given, because normally you don't see free kicks for simulation given in the middle of the park in them areas. Normally the referee just waves play on. But yeah, it probably was a free kick. Fantastic. I'll not say a swear word, but well deserved. No reason why we can't draw United and beat Wolves. I mean, why should we go to Man United and think we can only draw that game again? That's what I want to say. God, I mean, you watch them this afternoon against Brentford. Absolutely hopeless. We've got every chance in the world to go in there and win. And Forest away is a harder game than Man United away. But yeah, we can't be we can't be too ambitious for that. Yeah. We've picked up like a bonus win here. That's how I describe this. It's a bonus victory. I talk a lot about sort of games being coin flips a lot this season, and we're winning some of them coin flips. We've lost obviously one against Burnley, but this was a coin flip game for us. We won the game essentially on a set piece. We didn't create tons. We probably created more today than what we have done in either of our other away games this season. There was that chance that I think Isidore had in the first half. It like bobbled about and he fired it wide. I thought it could have went in. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Robin Hood, third. Roofs has been one of the steals of the biggest steals of the window. Yeah, I mean, the confidence that guy has. If anyone's watched that Man United game this afternoon, look at the goal that Man United scored and the way Kelleher dealt with that aerial ball. It's like a ball comes over the top. I think it might be deflected. It comes over the top of him. And there's a Man United player, I think it was in Boomer, was just stood in front of him. And the keeper showed no desire to win it. He just sort of let himself get blocked out. Watch Robin Roofs in games. Look at that one where he's had to punch it off the line and the player's backing into him. He just commands that area so well. And absolutely, he's been fantastic so far. But we can look at the whole team and look at them all and say, do you know what brilliant business that is. Alderete today scores the goal. Rock solid. Mukwele next to him. Absolutely incredible. Again, just unbelievable from start to finish, Mukwele. And like the two of them, sometimes the Forest press was on and Forest were trying to force them to pass it out. And they just kept going like, nah, we'll just run through the middle. We'll just run through the middle. If you're going to give us that space to do that, we'll do that. And like having centre-backs who can do that, absolutely massive. We move into the midfield. I think Granit Xhaka got man of the match. Probably well deserved from him. Unbelievable. He was fantastic. Possibly his best game of the day. Just he obviously gets the assist as well, but his overall play just phenomenal. And it's unbelievable that he plays for Sunderland. Unbelievable. If you've got put questions in, let's talk. Let's get your comments in there. Let's talk about the game. Let's be on here for 3 hours if we have to be. Actually, I'm on the What the Fog, so maybe not 3 hours, an hour or so. If we're lucky. Omar Johnson, Sunderland will win the EPL. I'm putting money on it. Do you know what, Omar? Probably a bad time to do it because the odds will have shrunk so much. You should have done that in July. You probably would have got yourself. Very, very good. Oh, my pal, all ending. There he is. How effing mint was that win? Absolutely, my friend. Unbelievable. Just the stress you go through, right, watching them games. So at 0-0, I have a hope that we can maybe get a point. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Do you know what? A point a day, fantastic result. We obviously then go ahead 1-0. So you've got something to cling on to. So I'm sat there going, again, a draw would be a really, really good result. And just how pessimistic I am, I'm looking at the clock thinking, right, 60 minutes. Well, if they equalise now, they'll probably get a second. 70 minutes. Well, still, if they equalise now, they'll probably get a second goal. 80 minutes. If they get a goal, can we hold on for the last 10 minutes? We get a 90 minutes. I'm like, they're probably going to get a point here. Well, we should get at least a point unless something catastrophic happens. That's just how my weird and wonderful brain works. Leeds and Burnley have conceded last minute so many times this season, but while we've held our own with our brick wall. Yeah, those things are massive. I mean, Leeds today conceded 93rd minute against Bournemouth. Apparently, well, they did play really well. I watched their game this afternoon. I try and keep tabs on the teams, sort of who are going to be around us this season. And I thought Leeds played really, really well today. But the fact is they probably got Bournemouth at a good time. I don't think for a minute Bournemouth were at their best. They get Bournemouth at a good time, but they still managed to chuck away a point at the end. But look, if I'm being brutally honest, I think Leeds and Sunderland are probably going to be all right this season. Certainly we're on 11 points from 6 games. We only have to pick up 29 more points to hit 40. We've got 32 games to do. We can pick it less than a point per game. Think about it that way, less than a point per game. And that would be the only way we would go down. So, yeah, very, very good. Defense was superb. Alan, I agree. Defense was absolutely fantastic today. Yeah, just unbelievable. And like, look at teams in the Premier League. How many teams could do with players like Alderete and Mukwele? Like, how many teams do you think would look at that? I mean, look at Man United. We just talked about Man United before, but look at Manchester United's defense. Their back three. And you can't tell me that Alderete and Mukwele aren't better than the tripe they've got in their defense. Absolutely no chance. And that's absolutely crazy that we've done that. We bought them too for like 20-ish million quid. Unbelievable business. My dream is Man United get relegated. It'd be funny. I don't think that's my dream. I have bigger dreams. My dreams are more Sunderland related. I would love to see like Sunderland win the Premier League. But yeah, it would be funny if Man United got relegated. I wouldn't say it's a dream, but it'd be funny. Xhaka has 3 assists this season. There is an 8-point gap between us and the relegation zone. Yeah, and Wolves are about to play Tottenham away. If Tottenham can do us a favour there, that would make it 11 points between us and them. It's 11 points. I mean, I know it's the early stage of the season, but that's 4 wins for Wolves. They would have to win. And even if Wolves won 4 games in a row, we might pick up points, so it would take them longer than that. So, yeah, that's really, really good. You've got obviously down there. Who else? Villa are playing tomorrow. They're struggling, obviously, at the minute. Burnley, we've now moved 7 points ahead of. They've had a really hard fixture list, though, but we're 7 points ahead of Burnley. Let's just have a look quickly at the Premier League table, because I want to look at it as well. I saw somebody commenting that want to do this for look at it for days. So yeah, who's at the bottom? So you got Wolves 0, West Ham and Villa still to play, and Wolves obviously still to play. Burnley have got 4, Forest have got 5, Newcastle obviously still have to play. They've got 6. Man United, Brentford, Everton on 7, but Everton still to play. But look, we're drawing teams into the bottom of this league. Like, not just us, but the fact that everyone just expects the newly promoted teams to go down. I mean, crikey, I talked about that Rest is Football podcast at the start of the season where they give Sunderland in their preview like 90 seconds and they just went Sunderland are getting relegated. And they gave no analysis to it. Well, I bet you right now they feel very, very stupid on that podcast. I bet Alan Shearer feels like an idiot after our start of the season. Not that we're counting our chickens yet. We've still got a lot to do to stay up, but there we go. Jerry Wright. We can get a result at Man U. I haven't seen a team scare me. Maybe Arsenal, Liverpool, but we'll give them a game for sure. I'm well chuffed away the lads. Yeah, I mean, it's early days, isn't it? And I think what we've seen is we've had at home, the 3 games we've played, I would say that we've done really, really well in. And, you know, we probably would have beat Villa last week frustratingly if we had 11 men. But you know what? It happens. We still got a really good point there. But a point against Villa with 10 men. Team that's in Europe that got a Champions League quarterfinal last season. We got a point there after playing an hour with 10 men. We've went to Palace, who just beat Liverpool 2-1, who are second in the Premier League, who are unbeaten in 18 games or something stupid. We went there, kept them to a 0-0. We've played Nottingham Forest tonight with Ange Ball and all the attacking stuff that they've got going on. We keep a clean sheet. We win the game 1-0. Apart from Chris Wood missing that header, which he probably should have scored. How many times did that really get in behind us? I know Roof's had to make a few saves, but you know what? That's to be expected, and that's why we've got him. He's unbelievable in the net, and he makes those saves that you need. So, yeah, you know, we've done really, really well. I'm very intrigued to see how we do when we do come up against them. We've got Arsenal in November at home. We're really, really intrigued. But if we can get points on the board, we've got 11 points now. We've got Wolves coming up as well after the international break. If we can get through, you know, the Man United game, maybe pick up a point there. The Wolves game, pick up a win there. You're looking at 15 points. And again, that just pushes you up there. It means that when you do play the top level teams, you're not as under pressure to try and get draws and stuff, which can kill you. If you have to go to Anfield and pick up a point to get yourself out the relegation zone, you don't want to do that. Absolutely horrific. Suzuki Rich. Granite is having the same impact Stefan Schwartz had. Yeah, you know, it's that experienced top level player, isn't it? That's the thing that you need. And sometimes experience is overblown. Look at Ronaldo. He gets sent off last week. A player of his experience shouldn't be doing that. The fact is that players can make mistakes, and that can happen whether or not they've got experience or not. But what Granit Xhaka has is it's nous. It's ingrained in nous. He has been around the block a million times. He knows how to win games of football. So yeah, Granit Xhaka definitely, he's having the same impact, if not a greater impact than Stefan Schwartz. Very, very impressed. AFCON. Not scared of AFCON. Alderete, Mukweli, Masuaku. I think Masuaku goes to AFCON. I think he plays for the Congo, I think. Rig, Lafay, Roofs, Hume, Ballard, Isidore are not Africans as far as I know. Let's just worry about the... there we are, Robin Hood. Masuaku is Congo. Very good. Thank you, Robin Hood. Coming in there to save the day like a Robin Hood should. Let's not worry about AFCON. At the end of the day, players get... I've seen, like, you know, we play Leeds over AFCON. The fact is that when AFCON comes... And, you know, we're worried about it and blah, blah, blah. But Leeds could have 8 injuries for that game. We could have another 8 injuries on top of the AFCON players. You just don't know. It's December. It's like December, January. I'm not worrying myself. And I don't think we should be talking about it really as a fan base, especially when we've had such a strong start of the season. But I get your point. You're saying you're not scared of it. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you are. I think I'll just look at the table for a few hours. Yeah, hard to disagree. Good to see Gertruda's performance have gave Librews a headache and so many others for starting 11. Yeah, do you know what? If I was going to be slightly critical, I don't think Masuaku had a great game today, but it was his first game in. But he picked up a pretty silly yellow card where he basically rugby tackled the Forest player. I don't want to criticize anyone though, but I just think that you could tell that he hadn't played much football. It's probably the best way of putting that. Gertruda comes on. He should have scored. so close to scoring. I'd say he danced through the Forest defence, but actually he just sort of half jogged through it and they just kept moving out the way for him to get in there one-on-one. Yeah, he possibly should have scored. It is what it is. We're going to be the pickings in the Prem. Be hard to hold. I presume it means hold on to these top players. Let's not worry about that. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to buy Noah Siddiqui for 100 million quid, we'll just buy 4 of their Noah Siddiquis and figure it out. So I'm not worried about that. Where else are we? That's funny. I'm hoping Wolves win so we can stay at Tottenham. No, come on, Robin. We need to be serious here. At the end of the day, goal number 1 is be miles clear of those teams at the bottom of the league. That's exactly it. So that's the most important thing. Binge watch something till I die. You've had a huge glow up. Is that good? Is a glow up a good thing? I don't know. I'm going to guess that it is. So thanks for that, Ian. Yeah, I have. Probably put on a lot of weight since then, but still. I'll end in long may Chris Sutton predict against us. Absolutely. Not just him, though. So many pundits. Just constantly. Do you know, I don't mind somebody saying that someone will get relegated. Being honest, I predicted us to get relegated in the summer. That was before we brought in defenders. I was so concerned. I was concerned about our defense heading into the season, but we obviously have addressed that, and our defensive structure looks so good. What annoys me is that the conversation in the summer was just Sunderland have won the playoffs. Sunderland have bought players so they won't gel in. That's it. No analysis. Nobody looking at what Sunderland have done in recruitment in the past. Nobody looking at what Sunderland have done to get out the championship, how clever they've been, how good their structure is behind the scene, the recruitment team and all that sort of stuff. No discussion about that. And that's what really frustrated me in the summer, was just hearing people dismiss Sunderland without actually knowing anything about Sunderland. I mean, I remember years ago, Graham Souness coming on the radio when Alex Neil left for Stoke. I mean, this is how long ago it was. This is how long I've been holding that grudge. And he was talking about Sunderland looking for Nirvana, and it's not going to happen. They can't do it in this week. You can't get promoted by just signing sort of younger players, hoping to develop them. It just doesn't happen. But the fact is this football club's been proving people wrong, even people in our fan base, for a long, long time. And look, there was people 18 months ago when we were, struggling in the championship, finished 16th, that was saying that they needed to change things at the football club. But the football club, that's why they paid the big bucks. They stayed the course and were like, no, this will work. And it did work. And look, we're seeing the fruits of that right now. It is what it is. Let's have a look. Arthur Bushby. Forest should have won that. Well, maybe. What was the XG? I know everyone loves XG here in this community we have. So let's have a look at the XG. Let's see how much Forest deserve to win, even though we've got a goalkeeper who plays for us who saves chances, and Forest didn't really create anything, especially in the first half. So stats-wise, so Forest had a massive 1.65 to our 1.19. So there we go. So maybe it should have been a draw. It is what it is. But look at, it doesn't matter. I don't think Forest did deserve to win because I thought that we stuck in there. Let's see what else we've got. David Williams didn't see any pundit or YouTuber predict the Sunderland win. Nope, me included. I predicted a 1-1 draw. But I will happily eat that humble pie. Yeah. But I mean, who would predict us to go to Forest and win? You've got to be like, the fact that we did win is incredible. And that's why we're all buzzing now. That's why there's 126 people watching this right now, because we're just all buzzing about the fact that we picked up a win because it was so unexpected. Yeah, right. Where else are we on these comments? 4th week in a row, she will have to put 2 SAFC players in team of the week. Xhaka and Alderete. Yeah, that's fantastic. Outstanding result, Francis. I agree. Any questions? Put in questions. Plenty of questions for Taff or Alt Ending. How's it hanging? I am sure he is very, very good right now. This 11 points, 10 games log has given us 4-game leeway to get bonus points in a way. Yeah, I think they said on Sky that no team has got 11 points from 6 games and got relegated. That is a newly promoted team, that is. It might just be any team. I think it was any team. So we'd have to have a catastrophic run. And it goes back to what I said sort of at the start of the stream. We have played 6 games to get 40 points, which is probably too much to stay up, let's be honest. More likely to be like 36 or something, but let's just say 40 points. We've got 32 games to pick up 29 points. From what I've seen of that Sunderland team, unless there's horrific injuries and whatnot, I think we can start to think, you know what, we should be now in the position that we've put ourselves in. We should be giving ourselves an incredible chance of staying up. And I think now we're at the point after 6 games where it feels more likely that Sunderland stay up than they do go down. And I think even the pundits and whatnot, after that game tonight, and look, that's on the TV as well. People would have been watching that match. Everyone would have been looking at that going, oh, wow. I mean, I had friends who are Newcastle fans texting me going, oh, wow, your defense is really, really good. You look like you're really, really like zoned in there and you're going to hold them out. And obviously, as I'm watching it, I don't think we are because I'm a Sunderland fan and I'm pessimistic. But I think we're getting the attention of a lot of people now. Got a Leeds fan. Sunderland boring to watch. Wait till you play Leeds United. What's with this rivalry? I mean, this thing, I see a lot of Leeds fans who are really trying to force this. Let's hope both Sunderland and Leeds stay up. I don't mind Leeds. So, yeah. Sunderland boring to watch? Maybe. I mean, I don't care. They're not boring when I watch them. I think Leeds have been boring. That Monday Night Football on the opening day was the worst game of football I've ever seen. And then that game they played against Newcastle 2 weeks later at home, absolutely horrific. 2-0. Well, I think the Everton one, the 1-1-0 with a penalty that shouldn't have been given. Then the Newcastle one was 0-0. And fair play. Like, good result of the day. 2-2 draw against Bournemouth. So, I don't know why you're getting involved here. Getting all leery with me. Said Leeds Burnley would only have 2-2. I don't know what that means. Get ready for all the predictions of United winning next week, which will make it all the more sweet when they don't. Yeah. It's just a bonus game for me. I looked at these 2 games, Man United and Forest away, and I was like, do you know what? If we can get a point, I think I'd be pretty happy. 1 point from them 2 games. Realistically, when you've got the mindset of we need to try and stay up. The fact is we've obviously picked up a win today, which means we go to Man United next week with absolutely, like, no pressure. Obviously, you want to win the game, but a little bit of no pressure. And Man United, I'll have all the pressure on them. Are they going to make a decision on Amarim in the week? Or they're going to wait until the international break? They're going to wait until the international break, aren't they? So that Ruben Amarim decision probably relies on whether or not they can beat Sunderland next weekend. And that's a really, really, obviously, that's an impossible situation for them to be. That's such a difficult situation to be in, where they know that they've got all that pressure. And if the dressing room is behind him and wants him to stay, that's even more pressure on them. So I think that it's probably a good game in some ways for Man United because they'll look at it and think it's Sunderland, but they'll probably underestimate us. I don't think that their fan base and their club will be looking at Sunderland as being anything more than a newly promoted team. I don't think they'll be looking at the fact that we've only lost 1 game in our first 6 this season and we've picked up points against Palace and Villa and now Forest away. They'll not be looking at that. So hopefully we can go there and cause a big surprise. Gary Hoyle, happy days, Connor. I would have taken a point, but 3 massive points roll on Man United. I agree. Arthur wants Spurs to win. Yep, I agree with you there, Arthur. We've got to have Spurs winning. When we stay up, our financial position will be fucked in a tremendous way. I don't think what do you mean with PSR? Oh, we're going to be bothered talking about PSR, but I don't think it actually will be because we've came up with decent PSR. Also, we've got saleable assets. I think you'd be, as a Sunderland fan, you'd be a little bit sort of deluded to think that if we stay up this season, that will mean that a lot of our top players have done really well and the club will probably look at selling, 1 or 2 of those players and say if we did have an amazing season and Wilson Isidore scored 15 goals and somebody wants to pay 50 million quid, they may look at doing that. So I wouldn't worry too much about our financial position. And to be honest, the financial position, if we weren't in the Premier League, would be worse than if we were. So let's not worry about PSR just yet. Chris Sutton said Bournemouth would win. I had a draw, to be fair. So there we are. I had Leeds to draw against Bournemouth. I think I actually had 2-2. So I was right on that one. Who would you play up front against Man U? Robbie looked much fitter and sharper since his last appearance. We can win this. I think that really just depends. I think it just depends on what they see in training and how they think we can win this game of football. Because the manager, I think, approaches games. I mean, I know today he only made 1 change, but it wouldn't shock me if next week he did maybe go and try, because Man United play the 3 at the back. Does he try and match them, or does he utilize the fact they play 3 at the back to beat them in a different way? Does he go 2 up front to go against their 3 at the back and try and cause them problems? You look at the way that Brentford played Manchester United today. It was very long ball. They were constantly hitting balls high, up, and forcing that Man United defence to turn around. And the Man United defence did not enjoy that at all. So my guess would be, if you either think, right, do we put Robbie up there to win the headers? Do you put Isidore Mayenda up there to try and get him behind? And that'll probably be the decision that the manager will be making. So I think if I was sitting here right now, I'd maybe suggest that we go with Isidore Mayenda. But I think Robbie, you want to see him get minutes and you want to see him sort of grow as a player. Let's have a look. Don't need to be exciting as long as we keep picking up points. I agree, Brett. It makes no difference to me. But also, I do find it exciting, particularly the home games. All the home games we've played this season have been exciting. So, can we enjoy today until Tuesday? Yes. What happens on Tuesday? Am I missing something in my head? I say enjoy it until like next Saturday. Until like Saturday at lunchtime. I think we play Man United at 3 o'clock, don't we? So enjoy it until then. Burnley got a spanking today. They absolutely did. What are our statistics? 10 shots on target, 6 goals or something like that. What do you mean for the season? All right, okay, let's dig out Sunderland's season shooting stats. Why not? Since we're here, I'm on the old FOTMob. So attack, right, expected goals. We have got an expected goals of 5.7 and scored 7. Shots on target per match is what I've got on here. We are having 2.7 shots on target per game. I don't know if that's exactly what you wanted. Big chances. We have had 10 big chances, which puts us 10th in the league. Yeah. I don't know if that answers exactly what your question is. What's XG conceded for us? We've conceded 7 XG and conceded 4. So that means that our goalkeeper is playing fantastic. Callis, Connor, mate, we're bloody mint. Yeah, we are right now. Enjoy it. Let's love it. Let's love it. Missed the game and any real feedback. Can you summarize the game set up for me, mate? Well, have I got a treat for you, Jason? Right. So, the change we made going into the game, we put it left back Masuaku to replace Ronaldo. We didn't play Dan Ballard, which was the surprise for me going into the game. First half, we did okay. Isidore missed a really good chance. We had like a couple of other sort of half chances. And we eventually got the goal through a really dodgy free kick that was given for, I think, simulation. Hume and I think I can't remember the Forest player's name. Hume and the Forest player anyway go for the ball. Forest player and Hume come together. It looks like the Forest player has been fouled, but actually it doesn't look like he's been touched. Hello, Sunderland. I don't think this is the real Sunderland, but hello, Sunderland. Nice to see you. Then we get the free kick. Isidore Dominguez. There we are at the end. Thank you. Coming in clutch there. Isidore. Xhaka gets the free kick, plays it in. Alderete heads it in. Very, very good finish. Keeper maybe on their side could have done a bit better. He sort of half saves it and it sort of, fumbles into the net. Second half, we did okay for 15 minutes or so. At the start of the half where we were just as much in it as them. There wasn't really much happening, but then Forest made some like big changes. They brought on players like Hudson-Odoi, Jesus. They brought on Morgan Gibbs-White at halftime. So there was like a lot of changes for them, the attacking ones, which were always going to be a struggle for us. We eventually brought Ballard on for Lefay, which put us at a 5 at the back. And we were just heading the ball, clearing the ball, tackling the ball, doing all the good things that you want, basically, from a defence. Forest created a few chances. I think Chris Wood had a close range shot saved. He also had a header he should have really connected with, and he sort of brushed it wide. And then, that was pretty much, we saw out added time pretty easily. I think they had one shot maybe that went wide, but it was just the edge of the seat stuff. And we've got here, Lebris talked about finding a way to win. That's exactly what we did. Find a way to win the game, which is exactly what you want. I think Ahmad needs to let his agents know if he wants European football to be up to us in January. That'd be funny. Conference League, mate. That's what we need. Roofs is world class, Kevin. He certainly looks at the minute. NJFTM, our defense has Jedi? Turned Australian there. Has Jedi knowledge. Amazing performance. Yes, it was. And we deserve an immense respect from so many creators and pundits since the start of the season. Yeah, I am looking forward to watching Benjamin Bloom and all them do 3 at the back. Connor McGilligan, who I used to work with, There we are, Conor McGilligan. Yeah, so me and Conor used to actually work with each other. And he used to cover Man City, I think, and while I was at Reach covering national football. So yeah, I really, really enjoy watching his stuff. I actually watch some of his elite stuff sometimes. I think it's good to get that different sort of perspective. So he's obviously really, really good. Finish the season now. Yeah, I agree, Anthony. Finish it now. Stop the count. Champions League at the stable line. Thanks for the summary. Sounds like a perfect away performance. How did Rig do? I thought Rig did okay. It was a hard game for him. Obviously, it's always going to be difficult for games like this for Chris Rig, and he's done little bits. He gave the ball away a couple of times, but overall, I thought he did pretty well, and I think he will learn from performances in games like this in Duggan, and he certainly wasn't a negative in the game. I thought like he did okay, he did all the things he needed to do. He's defensively pretty solid and whatnot, but obviously it's just going to be a case of seeing him develop and grow as the season goes on. He'll obviously get minutes. That spot that he's got right now from Diarra is, it's going to be his, provided that he keeps up. And obviously, you've got the decision to make. Do you put Lefay in there at some point and put a Dinger on the left? And that's going to be the battle for Chris Rig. Can he hold on to that place? What else we got on here? Don't think anyone will have an easy game against this season, no matter the result. Yeah, maybe we might lose one or two this season. But yeah, that it is what it is. We will always take. I remember the years we finished 7th under Peter Reid and we lost like 5-0 at Everton once. Those results can happen. You can have things go against you in a game and it can snowball. But yeah, I think we're going to be competitive in pretty much every game. 4 at the back. No, I think I'm probably nowhere near big time enough for Matt, Benjamin, and Connor. So no. But if they wanted to go 4 at the back, obviously I'd love to accept the thing, and I can talk about Sunderland all the time on there. It just shows how much love we should have for Tommy Watson. Yes, thank you, Tommy Watson. Thank you indeed. We'll wrap this up here. Dream on 3rd place. Bring on the barcodes. Away, lads. Keep I presume it's meant to be keep the faith. It doesn't say keep the faith for me. Maybe it does for you. Philip Stout anyway. So there we go. We've done 32 minutes there. It scared the sugar out of me when I saw 09 on the bench. Why did it share the sugar out of you? 09 needs to score because then he scored in all 4 English football leagues. So fair play to him if he does that. But let's wrap this up. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment when the video goes live. If you've not seen it, obviously go back to the start. We just basically talked about how amazing Sunderland are for 30 minutes. There we are. Do what Jason done, where you get, to watch it back. And let's get carried away. I agree. Let's get carried away. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you soon. I'm on What the Fog, so watch out for that. We're recording that at 9 o'clock, so I will be on that one. I've also released a book, which you're probably sick of hearing about, but there we go. I've released a book. It's on the Love Supreme shop, so check that out at some point. Love you all. Enjoy the 3 points, as Rory would say, and we'll see you we'll see you probably tomorrow for another video.